Hey, welcome to the Inspiring Black Math Genius Show with your host Freddie Taylor and Sister Assata Moore. We are here to help inspire Black math geniuses in your family, in your homes, in your communities. Hey, Sister Assata, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm excellent. I'm excellent. Excited about the show. As usual, we want to keep it hard hitting, fast paced, and direct and to the point. Today, we're talking about the Black woman's gift to the universe. And I noticed we titled this The Black Woman's Gift as if it was a singular one. Obviously, it's not. We're talking about one particular gift in specifically. Sister Asada, what might that be?
Man, as you said, the Black woman has given many gifts, right? It sounds like something, Jaheim should write a song about, right? Put that woman first.
Yes.
And so this particular gift, I'm sure, is the greatest gift, and it's mathematics.
Yeah.
The Black woman gifted to the universe this whole concept that is used and interweaved throughout everything, mathematics. And there is proof, two artifacts that we have in Africa, both located in Africa, that proves this point. And the first one is the Bombo Bone, found near the South African and Swaziland border in the Lubombo Mountains. And it's over 40,000 years old, over 40,000 years old. We can't even fathom those types of numbers, right?
Not at all.
Right. And so what it is that it's from the bone of a baboon, and there are markings on it. Mm-hmm. And these markings show that they were keeping track of their menstrual cycle and tracking it to the lunar calendar. So not only this idea of mathematics, but now we see at the very beginning this connection in this study of astronomy.
Right.
So that's the first one.
Yeah,
right.
Understanding the connection of the celestial planets and asteroids and whatnot, and the connection to body, right? That's really interesting.
Right. And that's one of the ones that people of African descent has always had a fascination with, because one of the later episodes we're going to talk about in Kemet, and so we talk about this astronomy here, but in Kemet they had this whole ceiling at the Temple of Dendera. You know what, we're going to say that for him.
Yeah, a little teaser for you. That's a little teaser.
Let's say that for him, yes.
Yeah. So
you have that one, right? And then, but I have another one. Remember, I told you too. So then we also have the Ishango Bone, and that one is only, right, 25,000 years ago. So it came along 15,000 years after the Bombo Bone, and it's found in the central part of Africa. And so you're actually seeing this migration where it's moving north on the continent of Africa. And the Ishango Bone, the mathematics actually gets a little bit more advanced, because there are now these columns that you have. And in these columns, you see a set of odd numbers, you see some prime numbers, and you see what looks like starts to be some multiples of 3 and 4, and dealing with this base 12. So the mathematics gets a little, and again, this is 25,000 years ago. So those two bones right there shows that A, mathematics started in Africa, and B, it was Black women that first started using mathematics and then gifted this idea to the world.
I love it. Can you before we move on to the next part, can you talk a little bit about why children knowing Black women and Black people are behind mathematics on this planet? Why do you think that's important to them?
Because it's the converse of why we aren't taught that. We aren't taught that so that we aren't rising to the levels that we're capable of rising to. We aren't taught that so that we can believe that other people are smarter than us. We aren't taught that because not knowing our contributions says to us that we're not capable. So then the opposite of that is that when we're taught those things, we realize, like, wait a minute, we did this. It gives a certain type of confidence. Think about your stories, proud people, if you're telling, oh, my father was a CEO and his grandfather was a CEO. Look at what that does to people in corporations. Look at what that did for JP Morgan Chase, right?
Yes.
What it did for Rockefeller. the Rockefeller's families. And so when you instill a legacy and you build those strong roots, it empowers people, right?
Yes.
And so right now the opposite is happening where we're being disempowered. And what we're saying is with the truth and with factual information, we want to empower young Black people. As well as older Black people too, because this is good for adults as well.
Yeah, it's going to inspire all of us, right? So we're inspiring Black math geniuses by reminding them and you that math is the blackest thing ever. And to go along with that, we've created a program called the Black Math Genius. Sister Assata, can you talk to them a little bit about why joining us inside of the Black Math Genius at blackmathgenius.com is a great move at this time?
You know, Freddie, I'm not typically a dramatic person, but I'm dramatic with this, and I would say that it's really critical. And we're going to look at, over the course of time, we're going to look at the data behind this, and we'll even look at some of it a little later, but we're in a critical position to where it's impacting us as adults, it's impacting our families, and it's impacting our communities. There's some podcasts and YouTube videos that I watch with these young white dudes that are into crypto space, and they're always saying math is power. I don't hear that on any Black platforms that I follow. I don't see that on Black Twitter. But with these young white dudes, they're saying things like math is power, and they get that and we don't. And so what I'm saying to parents, your children understanding mathematics and their contributions to it, their ancestors' contributions to it, it empowers them. And this is critical. Other people understand that, we don't.
Yes. Well, we're changing that inside of the Black Math Genius program. It's a complete package information to teach your children about our Black history and mathematics at the same time. Wonderful program. Check us out. And programming included. Check it out. Learn more at blackmathgenius.com. And let's get back to our discussion, right? We're talking about Black woman's gift to the world, right? Or to the universe. And you mentioned some data, right? So we've gone over the origins of mathematics, older than some other foreign organizations and people that often get the credit, right? We'll talk about that in the next episode. But we know it started 50,000 years ago in Africa, right? With Black women at the helm of that. But what is some of the data that really backs up the importance of mathematics and the power of what we're talking about?
I like what you just said, because I gave the figure of 40,000, then you said 50,000, right? It has to be more than 40,000, because in order to perfect something to where you're going to write it down, that means that you were already studying it years before that, right?
Absolutely.
So we know it's more than 40,000 years ago, right? But here's the data, and this is coming from the National Science Foundation. And what I always wonder about with data is that when are we going to do something about it? Okay, but here's the data right now. The data is that Black people make up almost 15% of the U.S. population. But when it comes to STEM majors, and mathematics being the lowest out of all the STEM majors, when it comes to STEM majors, we represent about 5%. So imagine there are 3 of us that's supposed to be on a team,
right,
and we're playing the other team, and we're only going to send one of our players to play everyone.
Wow.
Right. That's what we're doing. Wonderful. The full team is not showing up the way that we should be showing up.
Right.
So we only we represent 15% of the population. Only about 5% are represented. We're grossly underrepresented. Now, when you look at the 3 majors that have the lowest income, we're overrepresented up to as high as 19%, and we're only 15% of the population.
Wow.
So what we're doing is we're automatically going into majors that are the lowest paid and is guaranteed to keep us impoverished for more generations. When you look at Asian people, they represent about 6% of the population. They're 3 times represented. They're at about more than 3. They're at about 21% representation in STEM fields.
Wow.
Right. So imagine we're playing against the Asians, right? It's supposed to be 3 versus 3. We put out one of our players, and not only do they put out all 3 of their players, they go get 6 more.
Wow.
and play our one person. That's what's happened because it's a 9-to-1 gap.
Wow.
When you compare us to Asians, it's worse compared to Asians, and it's not as good to white folks, and Hispanics are even passing us up.
And is this because we're neglecting mathematics, in essence, right?
Yeah, what happens? Yeah, we're running from mathematics. We're running from our own creation. We're running from our own gift.
Wow.
Other people are taking it in like, oh, I love this. This is all the things that we can do with it, blah, 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 blah. And we're running from it. And I wonder what the data is like. I haven't seen it of the number. I know that it's substantial. When I went to Michigan State University Engineering and Mathematics, let's say that there were 100 of us that started. When I graduated, it was me and Clay, 2 of us.
Wow. Out of 100.
Me and Clay. It was somewhere around that. Let's give or take however many, 10 people or whatever. But somewhere around that, it was 2 of us that graduated that year.
Wow.
And we were both from Chicago.
Wow.
And so all the folks that came in from Detroit, Philly, all these other places and came in choosing a STEM major, after they got to certain levels in mathematics or even those physics or chem courses, they started to fall off. And here's the thing. In our class, we had 2 black professors, and they said to us, look to your right. I know they do this. Look to your right, look to your left. Those people aren't going to be here when you graduate. Yeah. What a horrible thing to say to freshmen.
Right.
What a horrible way to start off your year, to say that you all aren't going to make it. And this is a class of all of the black students. This was the pre-college engineering program for black students. And that's what y'all tell us. Wow. And sure enough, they were right.
Said they started off wrong, right? So self-suggesting that they're going to not make it. Right. So definitely terrible things that are happening in the classrooms. You got any final thoughts for the people?
Man, I strongly suggest checking out, the Black Math Genius program. I go through it with young people in my family. I'm doing it in the car. And here's the thing. You have the mathematics piece, you have the cultural piece, but we're also forward thinking with it. We have programming there. We're adding to it within the next few weeks where they can write their own cryptocurrency, create their own cryptocurrency off of the Ethereum platform. They're learning about cryptocurrency. I doubt that there's any other program probably in the world, right? We're going to be like the Black woman gift in the world. The Sankofa Club through the Black Math Genius program is gifting you with a program that has your culture at the center, mathematics, programming, and cryptocurrency in it.
Beautiful, beautiful. I thank you, sister, for taking the time today
to
bless the people with some insight on the Black woman's gift to the universe. And as always, we want to remind you to join us inside of the Black Math Genius program. Check us out at blackmathgenius.com. For Sister Assata, I'm Freddie Taylor. Both of us are your hosts for Inspiring Black Math Geniuses. We'll be sure to catch us on the next episode. Until next time, good people, love, peace, and Black power. All right, have a good one. All right, and while I have you here, good people, allow me to implore you to download our mobile app, Raising Proud Black Children mobile app. Available on the Google App and Play Store. You can have more access to shows like this and content and material with people and building a community to help us support raising proud Black children. So I'll see you until next time, good people. Love, peace, and Black power.